Good evening, everyone. It's time. Get your drinks. Get your drinks ready. I'm Megan Fox with pjmedia.com, and I am joined this evening with Mike Harlow, my special guest, and your mama, Mama Ann, is here.
We have been hate watching this shit every single week, and if you think I'm pissed off about this show, she has been like raging for 10 weeks, so I figured I needed some backup this time. And like,
I am devastated.
So please tell us.
No, and turned it into garbage.
They did. That's true.
That's true. Sex in the City, I watched religiously, and then the fuckers they turned it around, and I don't know what the hell they did with it. I have absolutely no clue.
it's just like propaganda now.
Yes.
But oh my god, I feel like this last episode was the perfect cap on the end of it, because it solidified just how demonic these characters have
They
become.
certainly-
Well,
even
I'm-
the word.
Mama Ann, I got to ask you something, because one of the things that I have been raging about on this show is how they have taken the long-term marriage of Miranda Hobbs and turned it into something that we're all supposed to believe is like boring and dead, because they have this rather sweet dessert routine every night where they have ice cream on the couch. And I know that your marriage was like, 45 years or more?
Yes, it is.
What's
And
marriage
going
like?
strong.
What's your marriage like? She said.
Wonderful. I adore my husband more today than yesterday. I really mean that with all my heart.
So you're not gonna take off
Oh no.
to get finger banged by some
no.
big lesbian?
Not by any lesbian. And that is it. But
You're not gonna decide at 60
No,
something.
no,
You're
at
allowed.
60, I'm not going to decide that is my choice. I love my husband as much today as yesterday. So, but I feel really sorry for Steve. He's been her jadrul all these years, and now he doesn't know what to do with himself. She really fucked him over. In my
I
opinion.
think we should drink every time Mama Ann says fuck.
I've got my drink. She's an alcoholic, so none for her.
Oh no. Well, she can have a seltzer. She can get some iced tea.
Yeah, you have water here.
That's right.
Leah Cole says, hello, everyone. I'm here for Mama Harlow. I love you to death, Mikey, but your mom is infamous with your friends now.
I told you. Haley, I love you. I told you they like you better than me.
No.
Oh, she's great. It's good to have you here, too. And I think it's great to have the perspective of someone. Now, Anne, did you watch the show, the original show, Sex and the City, when it was on in the 90s?
Always. It was my favorite. One of them, definitely. I loved it.
I feel like we watched it together a lot when I was
watched it
probably
together a
too
lot,
friggin' young.
My husband did not like it as much as my father.
Oh, yeah. Straight guys did not
Yeah,
like
he's
the
the
show.
token straight guy.
Yeah, he is. But we watched it, Mike and I, and we loved it. It was so good. The disrespect that they have with this show is disgusting, to say the very least. My heart breaks for Steve. It really does.
Justice for Steve. Justice. Listen, I wanted to show you guys some of the reactions from the internet that I thought we would go over and see what you thought about them, because there are so many. It's been trending on Twitter all day. So let me pull that up on the screen so that you can see. Ryan Brown says, what podcast has listeners calling in live? I thought about that and I didn't put it in my recap, but it's so true. They're not on the radio. So when you make a podcast, you pretty much pre-record, unless you're doing like what we're doing, but we can't take phone calls. Like we take live comments. I don't know. But it's just another example of how they just miss these details that matter. Like, for instance, no one does a podcast in a radio station either. And yet they were in a radio station. So that was weird. This one's great. Why is Che singing? Isn't this
I
thing
have no
cringe enough? Let's talk about Che's singing debut.
I spent many of my years being a singer. She sings out of tune, first of all. Second of all, the next Roseanne Barr, I think not. I'm sorry, I think not. And I don't even like her Tom, which is in Yiddish, her way, her face.
Her face. I don't like her face either, Mama.
No,
I don't
it's
like her face.
interesting, though. You're not going to believe this. If you guys look up on YouTube Sarah Ramirez Spam-A-Lot, she used to be a good singer. She used to be like an opera singer when she was like unabashedly a woman. But now that she was like a soprano, and now that she's trying to be this like they them, oh, I'm not really a woman, she's trying to like artificially lower her voice.
Yeah, they put her in the wrong key. I said that. It sounds like she probably could sing, but she needs to be in a much higher key. And so they
No,
put
but
her in.
she has to sing in a man's key. Take that, society.
Okay, I get it. Never did like Sopranos.
I mean, it just was so bad. And I thought it was funny when Che got up on stage. I was like, oh no, they're gonna do it to us again. It's a comedy concert part 2. And
I thought so
I
too.
just worked through this with my therapist. I'm like, please, God. And then she even admits, I'm not gonna subject you to my stand-up. Now, isn't that funny? They put it in there that she knows that she's not funny.
I think they might have like added that line in last minute as like a little bone for everyone who had to sit through her comedy.
Yep.
It was so bad. And then, of course, Mike put up this fantastic "Who Wore It Better?" I had to highlight this one because this was so funny. So we've got Sarah Jessica in this this tissue box dress. I don't know how to explain it. Is it made out
Get
of
over
tissue
it,
paper?
Sarah Jessica. You're 55, not 25.
Even
Get
if you were
over it.
25, don't wear that. It's
Yeah.
Come
10
on.
times too large.
Johnson was
You
great.
could put
We
3 of
love-
her in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the glove. Oh God.
Oh, the gloves, the bag. Oh,
Real Housewives Recaps is in the house. Hi, Jen.
Hey Jen, we love you. Oh my God.
Mike's gonna have a meltdown.
We
Oh
love
my
you.
God.
yeah.
We do love her, and her recap for the episode was really fantastic, and she sat through the documentary as well. I could only get through half of it. I'm still working my way through it.
I think
But
the documentary was better than the show.
I do too.
I feel like they put more thought into the documentary.
I agree.
more thought into the documentary. Well, what I didn't like about it, and let's talk about that for a second, because do you guys remember the Joker outfit on Carrie?
Ugh, yes, that's
Okay,
super.
it's a Jean Paul Gaultier thing. The purple suit. Okay, remember she was wearing it here. I'll change the picture so you can see it. Let's see if I take this off. Can we see it? Okay, remember the Jean Paul Gaultier suit that she was wearing, and she looked like American Gothic grandma. She so in the here she is here's in the documentary, she's standing in front of the camera going, oh, we have to wear this, we have to have this. Then she looks in the mirror and she says, it's hideous, it's just hideous, which she's right on. It's a onesie. First of all, Jen, thank you for bringing that up. It's a onesie. It is not even a suit. It zips up the back. So we find out that this is like a one, you step into it like a jumpsuit. But she's saying it's hideous. Does Sarah Jessica Parker hate Carrie Bradshaw? Is that what we're discovering?
Could be. Could very well be, because she looks all fucked up in her clothes.
Drink.
Yeah.
It's weird because when they showed Sarah Jessica Parker in the documentary, she seemed a lot more pleasant than Carrie Bradshaw in the show.
Yeah.
And I feel like Sarah Jessica Parker is probably a pretty unpleasant bitch, but that's
do too.
just how unpleasant Carrie is. You know?
Leah says, I think I just threw my Italian pesto pasta up in my mouth. No, now don't do that. Italian pesto should be kept down.
What pissed me off the most was her uncaring, stoic attitude when Big died. She couldn't have cared less.
She's just counting her millions.
Counting a million while
It's
everyone on the planet is starving.
Hi, Maddie. By the way, sorry, I just saw that.
I just think I think it's very telling though that the actress is standing in front of the mirror wearing this outfit that we all hated, saying it's hideous. It's so hideous, we have to use it.
In
It
fairness, I will defend her briefly for 1 second. Is that
Very briefly.
I've said that before. That like something is so hideous you have to wear. Like if you look at some of the fucking things I've worn over the years, you know, I understand that. Like something is so ugly you have to wear it.
I just got the feeling that she was laughing at the character, like, "I'm gonna make her look hideous." Oh, Real Housewives Recaps wants to know, would you rather wear the outfit for 24 hours or watch this series again?
Wear the outfit.
No, wear the outfit.
Without question, wear the onesie. Although, would I have to go anywhere in it? Because if I'm in a onesie, that is not a good look for me. I'm a little round around the middle, and onesies don't do well on me.
You guys are voluptuous.
More than voluptuous.
Voluptuous around the middle is not where you want to be voluptuous.
Well,
Ben-
please. Well,
Ben says, I have wondered why the arms covered all the time. I swear to God, I think Sarah Jessica Parker had some kind of religious conversion and she doesn't allow them to show her arms anymore or her décolleté or any of it.
see, I'm thinking maybe she just has the bingo wings.
No, we've seen her arms and she doesn't. They look beautiful. They're muscular and like toned.
Sure, she doesn't have the bingo wings.
So.
No, they put her in the Versace dress and her arms were bare. She looked great, but they just won't. They do look like horse pants. I'm just saying they do.
Well,
Yeah, they do. That's absolute. Look at with the little
fit.
wing things. Oh God, it's the worst. It's the absolute worst. Just a note for those of you watching in the live chat, the super chats are open and we do appreciate tips. If you want to tip us, we're here for that. So what are you drinking tonight, everybody out there? Why don't you share your drinks with us in the live chat? Alcoholic, non-alcoholic, doesn't matter. But
again, forgot to buy drinks for this, and I found something in the back of my fridge, which is kind of disgusting. But it was the only blood orange spritzer.
Ew.
Natural flavors of Chicona bitters.
That sounds terrible. I'm drinking
delicately folded into fine French wine. Bitch, this comes in a can. I doubt it's fine French wine.
I'm drinking Skinny Girl Margarita on the rocks. This is one of my favorite things ever. Oh, why does this keep going fast? Back up. Back it up. Back up the truck.
I love
Back it up. Here, this one right here. Please put Che Diaz on a Peloton bike and end our suffering.
I love that.
Oh, God. Anna's drinking red wine. We've got mango cider in the house. Nice.
That sounds kind of good.
That does sound really good.
Maddie.
Good to me.
Leah says, or was it Leah's got water. It's good.
The two of you can have water with Leah.
I am doing that.
Leah says that she's seen all your pictures, Mike, but she's never seen you look ugly like that. Mama Harlow had a hot son.
For sure.
Whatever.
He is gorgeous.
Oh, shut up.
I
Stop
agree.
it.
He
You're
is
going to make
gorgeous.
me think that you're some kind of Charlotte parent. God forbid.
I've always told you that.
God forbid. Can you imagine? Can I just say, not to skip ahead, but like that whole thing with the bar mitzvah, there's no way in hell I'm calling it a they mitzvah. Like, this is the best argument for like, do not let your kids just do whatever the hell they want.
I know.
Because they bent over backwards for this little bitch. Sure, you can have a sex change, 12-year-old. Did whatever.
21.
Yeah, did whatever she wanted. And gee, it's still not good enough.
Yeah, I'd like to ask Mama Ann, what would you do if you had paid for a giant party for Mike and the asshole wouldn't come out of the room to greet the guests? What would you do?
Oh,
You would have gotten the wooden
I
spoon
would
out.
have gotten the wooden spoon out. Thank you, Mike. Yes, I wouldn't put up with that shit ever, ever, ever. And they're both two clowns to put up with that, mommy and daddy. You know, and she's gonna do what she wants anyway, and they're gonna let her.
And they're
So-
trying to bribe her.
At
Oh, do you
one
want an
point-
Apple Watch? Do you want a Nintendo?
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
that's what got you bitches into this mess.
Real Housewives recap says drag him out by the onesie.
Yes.
I mean, honest to God, I would have taken away that kid's stuff weeks before it when she was
Yep.
giving me the bullshit in the beginning. I would have been like, that's it. I'm taking everything in your room out. I'm putting it in storage, and you can have one outfit for school and one pair of pajamas, and that's all you're gonna and you're sleeping on the floor. Your bed's coming out too.
No more sex change for you. That's it, young lady. I'm
No
taking
more
your hormones
anything.
away.
I'm taking everything. Rockefeller. You're right, Beth. That was funny. When Anthony calls her Rockefeller, I was dying laughing. That was so good. I started calling her Rocky Rose.
Rocky Horror is more like it.
Rocky Horror.
I like that.
I
Parents
thought,
are
by the way, I
crazy.
thought she was gonna mention the post-it here.
I
about her
did.
breakup.
I
But of
really
course she
did.
just had to be like, my husband is dead.
Yeah, that was so dumb. And yeah, how on earth? And I also think there was another one in here that says Aiden. I think I have it in here, but Aiden, the character who played Aiden, after watching most of this series, must have left the producers the same note. I'm sorry, I can't. Don't hate me.
Aiden must realize he dodged not a bullet, he dodged a bazooka.
Absolutely.
He was supposed to be in it. So
Yeah, I
something
was wondering
happened.
what happened with that.
Well, something. It
Mhm.
probably he was like, I'm not gonna be on this shit show. No way. This is so I love this meme right here. It says, there's no way in heck the real Miranda would give up her career for love. I get people can change, but my God. I'm in a rom-com, Carrie. And then real Miranda, remember she's screaming at Carrie on the way to Paris? You're living in a fantasy.
Yeah, and she was right.
Yeah, she was right.
Absolutely.
Like, I know that was supposed to be, I mean, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but it felt like a little bit of a parallel scene. The one where she was having some argument with Carrie in this, but it's like there was no
In the bathroom.
perspective
Yeah.
on it. Yeah. It was
Yeah,
like
when she says, what are you gonna do in LA? Sit in an audience and laugh?
or sit and eat croissant.
And that, yeah, I mean, it was the same. And yet at the same time, we get no resolution. I hate these writers so much. They just don't tie up any loose ends. Resourceful Jill says that's not love, it's infatuation.
Yes.
It's absolutely right.
And you're middle-aged.
Thank you.
I'm in a rom-com, Carrie. My ears are bleeding. All right, so Katie says, I'm going to miss these live streams of In Just Like That. Well, you guys need to tell us what you want to hear about, and we'll keep doing them. Because as long as, you're here to listen, we'll talk about anything you want. Believe me, Mike and I could go on all day about all kinds of stuff.
Someone needs to geek out about Aaron Sorkin's cringy shows with me. Have you ever watched Aaron Sorkin's TV shows? Oh,
No, but I guess I should.
it is the cringiest shit. He has this one newsroom about cable news, and they do the episode where Bin Laden was killed, and like he goes up to a pilot in a plane, and he's like, "Sir, I do the news tonight. We killed Bin Laden for you. We did it. We got him, sir." Oh, it's so cringy.
That's funny. Ben says, I love the way both Megan and Jen say, I'm in a rom-com, Carrie. I know I can't say it any other way now. I just, Leah says she's seen all of the West Wing. See, like, I had to turn that off. I couldn't do it. West Wing was so cringe to me. I was like, these are people who have a fake version of what they think being the president is. And during the time that West Wing was on, what's his name? What's his name? Martin Sheen really believed he was the president, and so did everyone watching that show. They were like calling him, asking him to make comments on current events like he was the actual fucking president. The guy wasn't the president. He's just some stupid actor. And like, don't you remember? They were always like going to him. It's like, dude, you're not the president.
That show was nothing though compared to the other ones that he did. Studio 60. Oh my god. And it's so funny because like every character in those shows is just Aaron Sorkin. Like you'll have a 20-year-old and their frame of reference for everything is like Broadway musicals of the 1930s.
Oh,
Anyway,
that's
sorry, not to
funny.
rant about Aaron Sorkin shows.
All right,
but-
well, Jen wants to know, can we talk about the stupid yellow dress that Carrie wore? Yes.
Oh
Yes, we
God.
can. I mean, I don't know what else to say about this except the sleeves are so big she could hide some children in there, like some adopted maybe she could adopt some children from China and stuff them in or get them over the border in her sleeves for Charlotte.
Yeah, maybe she's not going to do it for herself unless they're just like her slaves to listen to her talk about herself.
And I mean, look, the pajamas again. Also, see this picture on the left? They had her walking around New York City in this getup in silk pajamas.
Unbelievable.
And her hair, when it's not in that tight bun where the
Right,
eyebrows are on the
right,
back of
right.
her head, like it looks like she has weights in her hair weighing it down. Like she looks like fucking Cousin It.
No volume at all. I know. And they don't let her natural curls out. Has she just destroyed all of her natural curls and they're just gone? I don't know. But the styling is all kinds of bad. It's everything bad. Can we just drink for this awful styling?
Absolutely.
Oh, God. All right. So Will says, I would rather watch 10 hours of just Carrie and Samantha texting.
Yeah.
I hate how they're dragging Samantha into the show when she has said she does not want to be in the show. Like, why are you?
Clearly, Samantha, the character Samantha, no longer wants to be friends with these demonic bitches. So
I know,
let her
and
live
they
in
keep
peace.
forcing her. They
Samantha
keep forcing
is too
her.
good for this shit.
Samantha's my heroine. She wasn't going to. I don't mean heroin, the drug.
Oh, nobody thought you meant heroin. The
No
drug.
one thought that. No, we got what you meant.
She refused the money, and she just went on her own way, and like a real winner. She is my winner.
I agree. Kim Cattrall is the winner of the show because this
She
show
is.
is fucking awful,
But
and
even
Kim
the character
Cattrall
Samantha-
avoided it.
Even the character Samantha is just too good for this shit to listen to these bitches just talk about themselves, to just follow Carrie around like some lost little puppy dog. Oh, yes, Carrie.
What is that about?
Just too good for that shit.
Ben says it's a 1985 prom dress comforter. It's a yes, it doubles as a blanket. It doubles as a blanket. Beth says it looks like a pile of plastic bags I keep under my sink.
It looks like some kind of inflatable thing for when you jump out of a plane. The scrunchy dress. That's what it looks like.
Yes.
Her sleeves look like pumpkins days after Halloween when they start getting wrinkled and deflated. Oh, God. Ben, I miss her kinky curls as well. I miss Carrie and her curls. I don't understand why they keep doing this to her hair, and I guess maybe she's just ruined her curls after years of straightening. Who knows? Who knows?
She's got plenty of money, and she doesn't need to be involved in this bullshit.
If Big saw her in that dress, he'd jump off the bridge. Actually, do you remember who was it? Was it Berger who said to her, no, it was Aiden who was like, oh yeah, and what's with that hat? Remember? She was wearing this stupid hat and he was like, oh, so that hat was a good idea? Aiden would tell her how stupid she looks in this dress.
She does, because she's so thin, her face is little, and she's got this ridiculous hat. and even the hat she had when Big died at Big's funeral, she looked like a little, in Italian we say a little sigami. She looked like a little person. I don't know. She has lost me completely.
That thing they had on her head at the funeral looked like a dinner plate.
I
was like, by the way, in the documentary, you might have given up before this, but there's like they do an entire 5 minutes on this of Michael Patrick King removed a hat that she wanted to wear. And it's so funny because they keep showing these interviews about it, and they're just like trying to hold it together, their resentment towards each other of him telling her she can't wear the hat.
Yeah.
And she's going on and on
Yep.
in tears almost. You know,
Right.
that really affected me when he took away
Oh
my.
no, I didn't get that part. I only got
Oh,
to the part where Michael Patrick King was talking about how he was telling Molly, the designer,
ugh.
he was telling the designer, don't let them fall in love with the hats. Remember, did you hear this part? Where he's like, trust me, Michael, we are not going to fall in love with these fucking awful hats. Okay, do you remember the one that she was wearing that was made out of straw? And it was literally asymmetrical. I couldn't figure out why it looked crooked. And then I realized it was that way on purpose. And I'm like,
Mom,
what the fuck?
Mom, how about the fashion designer from the documentary?
Oh, big fat shit. Yeah. No, she was. I mean,
They have her doing the fashion.
give me a break.
Well, I mean, and everything she wore was like wrinkled and a mess, and like her hair on top of her head. And like, okay, I understand. It's one thing to be fat. I mean, I'm 30 pounds overweight. I'm not going to throw any shade on
You are
somebody who's overweight. Yeah, I am. I totally am.
No,
You are
But-
not either.
But I'm saying if you are the fashion designer, you should dress well. You should at least show us that you have some kind of sense of fashion. My God, you're on a documentary. You knew they were filming you today, right?
right.
Like you could show us that you know how to dress a person who's of a larger size. Like,
Right.
you know, bigger women deserve nice looking clothes too. So doesn't this woman have anything good to show people that
No.
are her size? Hell,
She
she's
showed
dressed.
people- She showed people she's no Patricia Field. That's what she showed people.
I think Patricia Fields got tired of this nonsense too. So
Okay, it wasn't Aiden, it was Berger. And he goes, nice hat. Yeah, it was
Okay.
funny. And you know what? Everyone's like, Berger was a jerk. He was, but at least he called Carrie out on her stupid shit.
At least he wasn't like he sucked then, but now we're like at least he wasn't just one of her many enablers.
Right.
He doesn't have friends. She has enablers.
Yeah. So, okay, so I can't wait to get to that part about the hats that she wanted to wear because man,
Ooh.
something is wrong with her and her idea of who Carrie Bradshaw is. So I liked this meme too. I hope that And Just Like That turns out to be a shitty novel that Berger has written about Carrie. Now think about that. That actually makes a lot of sense. That's the only way to save this is for season 2 to come back and be like, and that was a total work of fiction that now Carrie has to deal with because Berger wrote it about her.
That would be good. Like that would explain why she's such an irredeemable bitch.
Mhm.
Why her friends suck. By the way, also, like I'd been kind of thinking this during the show, but even more so during the documentary. Is Kristen Davis like on something?
it seems to be. I don't know. I don't know.
Or is it just because she's like very slurry? Is it
Okay,
just
so
all the
no,
lip
I have an
injections?
explanation for that. I have an explanation for that. So it's because she had so many lip fillers
there
that
you
it
go.
takes a while to be able to speak correctly. I learned this from my commenters, by the way. They're the smartest commenters in the world. And it takes a while you sound slurry for a while. And so she's having to shout all her lines and over enunciate everything because of it. Doesn't that make sense?
I think Leah's right too.
Yeah, I would assume that might be it.
I think she's also on something. I don't
All
know.
right, well, you're good at noticing.
Well, she could also be on something. So you think she's either drunk or on like Oxy or something?
Yeah, Mom, it's like when you used to drink and pop pills. That's what
Real Housewives recaps. Jen says mom is way funnier than the writers. I think that's true.
No.
That's exactly
mean,
true.
I think anyone's funnier than the writers, though.
I agree.
That's true. And Jen also said the curvy clothes are so cute now. Why the hell is Molly? What is she thinking? Why isn't she wearing something good that she could like sell to bigger women who are watching this and be like, oh, I got this at wherever? Like, she looks terrible. Like
I'm
she just
starstruck that Jen is here. Like, we need to
I
do one
know.
with the 3 of us sometime.
I know. I love her. I love her.
so much. I watch literally like all her videos.
I know. Her videos are great. I'm always the first one on there. You'll see me in the
Me
comments.
too.
I'm like, first bitches.
Yes.
Oh man. All right. So Leah, says she's on uppers left over from her plastic surgery.
That's what I think. Leah,
I don't know. I
I'm
don't
with
know.
you. That's what I think.
That allegedly.
Kind of manic too. Did you? Oh my God, Megan, did you get to the part where she's like mimicking swinging the tennis racket in her clothes?
No, I didn't get there yet. I'm still only like
Manic.
halfway through. I'm at the part right now where they're doing like the Willie Garson, you know, I don't know, what do you call it? They're like the memories of Willie Garson. And thank you, Maddie, very much for the super chat. He says, if there's a second season, do you think they would actually find the nerve to recast Samantha? You know, I just don't think Samantha can be recasted.
Samantha.
You could. I would much rather see you on the show. Actually, okay, you're going to probably hate this, but I thought that the trans rabbi had more of a Samantha vibe than any other new character I've seen so far.
I get your point that yes, I get your point that at least she like had somewhat of an engaging presence at least.
Yes.
True.
And she made me laugh. I liked her.
Never be a trans rabbi though, because I'm sorry, they don't worship God, they worship themselves.
Yeah, I know that.
Sorry.
Her being a rabbi was really kind of unbelievable. But then again, it's NYC and these are super far left weirdos so that you can find anything, right? You're going to find anything. So I wasn't shocked that they found a trans rabbi. I was shocked that she was a likable character. I actually liked her. I liked Rabbi Chen.
Nuts. You know who I thought the most likable character in the entire season was? For the 10 seconds she was on screen. So you know that fat little Asian midget?
Yes.
His girlfriend.
She
had like 2 lines. You're talking about so gorgeous and so charismatic and had such a screen presence. I was like, this is the only likable person that you've had in the entire season, and this is what you do with her?
Are you talking about Fog?
Is that is that her name? Wait,
Smoke?
Is that her name? Who? What?
Smoke or Fog or
something.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Cloud?
Whatever the hell her name was. And they stick this gorgeous young girl with this fucking pile of pudding. Ugh. He just looks like they put him in the microwave. But if the Pillsbury Doughboy was put in the microwave, like he's melting. He's flat, yeah. Ugh.
Oh my gosh, you guys, the comments are so great. I'm like behind. I'm sorry, I'm not caught up. You guys are like, there's like 100 of you here, and you are just killing it in the comments. I'm sorry, I can't keep up. I am telling you, I love the audience that is here for this, and I hope that you'll stay with us when the show goes away, although I don't think it's going away. I think they're coming back. This meme is so funny. Me every week watching the latest, and just like that face on Samantha, that's all of us. I love it. Shannon says, it's actually remarkable how bad And Just Like That is. You have to try hard to write a show this terrible.
I agree.
Yeah, right.
That's what we'll see. That's what I've been saying is that, like, especially with all the characters too, like just Carrie, for example. Like I've been wondering this since the second movie. Like, do they not realize how insufferable she is, how unlikable, how demonic this person is? Like, I've just always wondered, is that like, it can't be that they don't notice. They had a decade to fix her character and they made her worse.
Oh, way worse.
Okay, here's a good observation. New Mexico Girl says, I thought the likable person is Franklin. I saw him making Isaac carry on the very first episode, and I thought something was going to happen between the two, and I can't believe it was at the end. We got no development there at all. And in fact, I thought at the end when they were kissing in the elevator, it was like one of the more normal, like Sex in the City moments. I thought that moment was pretty good.
That other guy, it just went nowhere.
Well, he was a total dud. He was a dud. He was so boring.
I'm happy they at least referenced it, but like, that they had him ask to kiss her.
Yeah, which
what would you do if a guy on a date asked permission to kiss you?
I would tell him to go fuck himself.
Drink.
Sorry, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
That's what they do now, though. They make you sign papers. I give consent.
Woke moment.
The buttocks. They grab the titty.
You have to sign it, and then you have to be on video consenting. You have to
Yeah.
take a video that says, "I consent." And then you say, "Do you consent to feeling you up under your shirt?" "Why, yes, I do." "And do you
One time somebody asked to kiss me, and I was like, "Not now, you can't."
They even have apps for this. Did you know that there are consent
Oh, I
apps?
know. I
Yeah.
know.
don't
I
know any of
downloaded
this.
it as a joke.
Did you really?
Well, actually, speaking of consent,
Oh, sorry about the stupid music. Hold on. That always happens. Okay, go
oh
ahead.
god, I thought she was gonna start singing.
You know I wouldn't do that to you.
Was supposed to be in this episode, and they cut him out of it because he's getting Me Too. That they're saying, oh, he was inappropriate with some woman 30. Of course he was inappropriate with some woman. What do you think? Look at him.
Was a whore master. We all know that. But that's no good reason not to bring him on the show. He was big part, Mr. Big, of that show.
I thought his whole appeal to women was like, yeah, of course he's going to be inappropriate with you. They call him Mr. Big. Like, what do you
I feel bad for men. You can't make a pass at a woman anymore without wondering if you're going to be accused of a sexual assault. Like, I don't know. When I was back in the dating world, a guy would make a pass. Like, that means he's going to reach out and grab you. And if you said no, well, then they usually backed off. And if they didn't, well, then, you get rough with them. But I mean, the majority of the time, guys made a pass and I said no, it stopped immediately. But they don't stop. Now they just don't try, I would imagine.
They're all such pussies.
Really. They are. The men.
Tell us about it, Mama Ann. How are they?
I have no idea.
You're lucky. Yeah, you don't have to
They've
do it.
become. As I said, I used to love Sex in the City, and Mikey, both of us. And now I don't know what has.
But it's like a reflection of men in real life now. They're all so weak.
Yeah.
I mean, you're lucky. You don't have to date.
My husband is strong.
Yes.
Strong.
Rose wants to know what the hell was Chaz singing. I wish they all would be California girls.
Look how much of a man I am.
And
I've been saying it on here every week.
So upset.
I've been saying it here every week. It's like she is always trying to do this impersonation of what she thinks a man is. Because she's not a woman.
I don't know what the hell she is.
But she doesn't know what she is either. Because it's a they, them
scenario.
And I, whatever. I'm getting pretty tired. Jen says it was like the Fawn sings California girls. Desiree, yes, California persons. How come she was singing about girls and not California non-binaries?
Right? She looks to me like a big fat bulldog. Sorry, no disrespect.
Now we know where Mike gets it from. Big fat bulldog. Everybody drink.
No disrespect, though. None at all.
Look, if you haven't figured it out by now, we say things here, and we don't care what you think about it. That's really the truth. Okay, so let's go into the recap because I've got these pictures. They're in order. We're starting out at this stupid XYME podcast that we have to, thank God that's over. And then Carrie's in her closet talking to Big on the shelf. She's going on a date. And this is where we see Mr. Pukey Pants again, who the pukey guy that she goes out with. And he's a total dud. I mean, just a dud.
Oh, yeah.
He looks like the kind of guy who has to put a rubber band around his dick to keep it up. Doesn't he?
Oh, no.
Yes. He does.
I don't know what that would look like. I don't want to picture that. Thanks a lot for putting that in my head, by the way. I want to know why she's wearing skirts that are so long they drag on the ground on the wet sidewalk in New York City. Like that thing, that hem should be black by now.
Well, it's part of it. They're just very committed to the whole bag lady aesthetic.
Yeah, they are very committed to that. A lot of people are saying that this guy, the pukey guy, is Burger 2.0, and I don't really get the comparison.
I get what they're saying, that he kind of has no personality, but I feel like Burger had a little bit more personality than this guy.
I don't want to
Wanna
see
see
that,
that.
Valerie Cherish. I don't want to see that.
I love
That's me doing an impression of Jen doing an impression of Valerie Cherish.
her.
I do an impression of an impression. I mean, this outfit, I hated it, and the bag lady thing, I can't stand it, and they had that kiss, and it was, like, very awkward and weird, and then she
Oh,
called
don't even with this shit. So, don't get me started. So,
Okay.
this bitch has been complaining all fucking season that she can't find a man, and then she finally finds a man, and she's on the phone with fucking Carrie listening to her talk about herself.
Yup, and he looks really pissed.
Wouldn't you be?
Of course.
I
Wow.
mean, I
Sitting there
do
listening to Carrie talk about herself.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
how come Carrie only calls her to talk about Carrie?
Of
Because
course.
that's all Carrie knows is Carrie.
It's
That's-
awful.
It's her world. We're just living in it.
That's correct.
And I mean, for God's sake, let Seema get some. Nobody on this show has gotten any that anybody could stomach anyway. We had to sit through kitchen finger banging. Oh, I can't. I can't. And then finally Seema gets herself a good-looking man, and we have to get it ruined by Carrie.
And she allows it. She allows it. Like this woman who plays Seema, gorgeous. She's probably got like lots of things going for her, and they stick her doing this shit.
Carrie, the
Headless
cock block.
Yup. Yep.
It's all about
Carry the
Carrie.
cock block.
Jen says, much like Miranda, I've been ignoring my kids, so I better run. Hey, yeah, don't forget the live chat on Real Housewives recaps. I have a hard time saying that. She has a live chat tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. I'm totally going to be there. So if you guys want to check that out, it's going to be a lot of fun, I think. So our audiences
Jen,
are
we
pretty
love
much
you.
the same. Yeah, we love you, Jen. Our audiences are pretty much the same. So I'm assuming that all of you will be there tomorrow night too.
Also, shameless plug, I'm going to have my video up this weekend recapping the season.
Are you finally going to have that up? I'm so excited.
Yes. I was waiting for the finale.
Oh, good. Good. Well, you'll find Mike Harlow's YouTube channel in the description after the show. I'll drop it in there. Otherwise, you can just type in Mike Harlow on YouTube and you can find him very easy. We love you too, Jen. Have a great night.
Thank you for having me.
No, they're saying to her,
Not you, Mama. You're staying. I was saying goodnight to Jen because Jen's going on her way. But we're staying. We still have more to do. Okay, so there's the lamp.
No. No.
What do you think about the lamp story?
I
mean,
what pissed me off was that conversation. Like it's like fine, whatever. It's just kind of filler, I think. But like
this conversation,
yeah, what a bitch! Like it was like
look at Miranda's face in the screenshot. Did I get an amazing screenshot here or what?
Oh my God! Oh,
what happened to these women?
But
horrible. Like her trying to shame Carrie for believing that there's like it's none of your goddamn business. Shut up, Karen.
I know. And why is she's only been a lesbian for 5 minutes and she's already wearing the lesbian approved tracksuit?
Yes, and flannels. She's wearing fucking flannels.
And look, Yvonne says, what's wrong with Miranda? Is the wig attacking her? Look at the wig. This is the wig's worst moment in the whole series. Look at this wig. I took several screenshots of the wig because the wig is so bad. Wait till you see the close-up. Look at this. Holy crap.
Unkempt.
She does look unkempt.
It's a horrific. And here's poor Carrie. She's like, okay. So Miranda's
like a fucking bag lady who hasn't slept in a month. Then you have Charlotte who looks like her lips got stuck in the drain of the bathtub.
And Miranda's going on and on about, oh, we believe in heaven now? How about the Easter Bunny? It was just so mean. It was so mean.
Yeah.
Somebody in the comments had asked me, Rose asked me, did I watch Gilded Age with Miranda in it? Yes, I did. And I reviewed it for my channel. You can go on to my pop culture thing on my channel, and it's in there. And I'm going to review episode 2. You guys seem to want these reviews for this show, and I really don't love The Gilded Age. Are you watching this, Mike?
I haven't seen it. I think I slept with the son of one of the main actors in it, so I can't watch it. I'm a little like traumatized from it. Do you remember? Well, okay, I shouldn't say names.
Go ahead.
No, I almost used someone's name, but I'll tell you after. But because you knew him, but he still pretends he's straight. Anyway,
you're not watching it, but I find that it looks
anyone's name.
It looks a little cheap to me. The way that they've done it is not really Julian Fellowes style, and I don't know why they've done that.
With Cynthia Nix, it takes place in like the fucking prairie wagon days or whatever.
Oh, really?
It's like the 1700s New York, or maybe early 1800s New York, and Cynthia Nixon's in it. All right, this moment in the diner killed me, Mike. It killed me. She screams at the top of her lungs, "The trans rabbi is in!" And no one behind her even turns their head, which I felt like if it was really going to be true to life, everyone should have turned around and looked.
No, but they're like, oh, trans? Clap, clap, clap. Fuck you.
Winterfire, thank you for the super chat, says, back in 2019, I knew something icky was brewing in Hollywood with the release of It, Chapter 2. There was an article about how the clown was anti-gay, and Richie, played by Bill Hader, wasn't gay enough.
Remember that? I literally got screamed at by these liberals I used to know for writing about that article.
Well, there's been, and I hate to even give it any light of day, because some of the commenters, I have so many great commenters on this channel, people who really are into it and are not taking everything so damn personally. But every time I say anything about, I don't understand why Miranda got changed from heterosexual to homosexual, I get accused of being homophobic.
Oh, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out.
Every time somebody says I'm a homophobe because I don't understand why Miranda couldn't just stay straight. Like, I'm straight. I was born
because
straight.
Miranda is a straight character. She is not a lesbian. They literally did an episode about how she wishes she were gay. She's like, oh, damn it. Still, and I relate to that because I'm like, God, if only I didn't have to fucking date men. Like, it's relatable. She is not a lesbian. It's like conversion therapy. Like, what?
It's conversion. Thank you. It's okay. How can you say that conversion therapy on one hand is bad if people are trying to convert gays to straight, but if you're straight, you can convert to gay, and that's actually celebrated, and that's just fine. It's sexual exploration. So, Mike, could you explore your sexuality with a woman? And that would be fine.
If only. I wish. If fucking only.
No one like him.
You're not going to become a lesbian at 60 something?
Nope. Count on that.
Everybody keeps telling me that this happens.
No.
Everyone keeps telling me that this happens all the time. And I'm like, wait a minute. I know a lot of straight women who are married, and not one of them has left their husband for a woman. Now, I know a couple of them who got divorced and found new men, or husbands died and they found another man.
I'll tell you when it happens. It happens with these middle-aged, dumpy women who can't find a man and they've given up. So at fucking 60, you're like, fine, no man is ever gonna like me. I'll just get a big bull dyke. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Josh says you don't see them write a gay character and turn them straight. Exactly. It literally never happens. And so if you take a straight character that we have known literally for 6 years, and we've seen her go through her entire dating life as a straight woman and even try homosexuality and say it's not for her, and then you turn her gay, I'm going to have a problem with it. I have a problem, and not because I don't like gay people. That's crazy.
It's ridiculous. And it's like, and also you see the quality of how this played out. So they did it. They had to turn her gay. Great. What happened with it? It was so enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, I know. Everybody hated it. Sorry, Mama. What'd you say?
My opinion, she's gay in real life, Miranda. And I think that might have been her, getting back on the show thing. She wanted to be true to who she really is, even though she's an actress. That's just my opinion.
Well, she's one of those people that she was married to a guy. They got divorced.
Right.
Oh, God, Mom, you've seen Cynthia Nixon's wife.
Oh.
Ooh.
worst portrait of an Italian woman I've ever seen. She looks like, oh my God, train wreck.
It's not good. I actually wrote down what Cynthia Nixon said. I'm checking my notes. I wrote it down because in the documentary, here it is. So we found out just by watching the documentary today that Cynthia Nixon is the reason why Che is her love interest.
Mm-hmm.
We just found this out. This is breaking news. Everyone stay tuned. This is breaking news. This was in the documentary. If you haven't seen it, Cynthia Nixon sat down and I transcribed this. I'm going to read to you what she said. Naya was a straight character and Miranda was a straight character. And I was like, that doesn't sound very sexy at all. Do you know what I mean? Two women who've gotten to this age and are now just sort of fumbling around, that doesn't seem great. And I was like, why couldn't it be, this butch person you're talking about for Carrie? Wait a minute. Did they want Che for Carrie Bradshaw? Is that what I'm hearing?
There's no way. There's no way.
That's what she said.
Right?
That is what she said.
There's no way.
Nah.
It can't be. Like that she must have, I don't know, maybe. No way.
Maybe.
Gross.
Maybe she saved us. Maybe she saved us from having to watch Che with Carrie.
Oh.
Think about that for a
And they'd
second.
be fucking finger banging in the kitchen. Gross.
Well, but so that's another bombshell is that Michael Patrick King intended for Miranda to have an affair with Nia Wallace.
Ugh. Who, by the way, as we knew would happen, served absolutely no point to the story. Same with LTW, same with all of them. So all these diverse
Well, Nia was supposed to have
characters-
a much bigger part. So how do you think she felt? And how come the black girl gets passed over for the non-binary Hispanic?
They all did, though. They all did. Ultimately, all they talked about in all their interviews, oh, the show was too white. There were too many white people. We made it diverse. And then ultimately, the only purpose that the black and diverse characters were there for was to serve the white liberals, as fucking always.
Amen.
It's gross. It's
As
so
always.
gross.
I agree.
Ugh.
Rose wants to know, Mike, do you have your own podcast and where can we find you? Apparently they want to hear you without me.
Oh, bullshit. I'm bringing you on my channel soon. We're gonna do that soon. I have
he's
my
on his
own, YouTube channel that's kind of just a menagerie of different things. I have one podcast I do on it, which is kind of related to this shit. It's called the Red Flag Love Cast. We only did one, and it was kind of like our test sort of episode. So we're filming our second episode soon. Actually, if you guys have need advice in relationships, dating, sex, whatever, or going through turmoil, something, email us at redflaglovecast@gmail.com and we will answer your questions, solve your problems, whatever. You can be anonymous. So
I love this. What is that email again? I'm going to put it up at the bottom of the screen so people can see it.
redflaglovecast@gmail.com.
All right, doing it now.
Tell
Red
us your problems.
Flag Love Cat. I love the name of that. That's fun.
We got a gay, we got a straight, we got everyone.
Okay, send, and this is for dating advice.
Dating, sex, anything.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm
gonna put it up on the
episode.
I'm gonna put it up on the bottom. So this is for Mike's podcast. If you guys want to get your questions over to him and he'll answer it. When does that air, Mike? When do you have it on?
We're filming it probably Monday or Tuesday, so then probably later that week.
Oh, awesome. I love it. I'll have to tune in for that.
Yeah, I'm excited.
People keep mentioning wig. Just wig.
Maybe they should have given this. Ugh. How
Mm.
could they possibly make her look so unappealing?
I don't know, but I had in the lamp store, this lamp store that she goes to, I was actually taken by the guy who works in the lamp store. And I personally thought as I was watching him, I'm like, you know what? I would rather watch a show about this guy who owns a lamp store and the people who come into it than this shit.
I agree.
It's, I mean, this just ultimately, I think, was the most superficial show I've ever seen in my life because with every storyline, they had opportunities. Like, there could have been a scene with Charlotte and her fucking daughter. Oh, why do you really want to be like having some sort of conflict? But no, it's like at the end of each episode, all problem. It's literally the Bradys. It's the Bradys. All problems are solved at the end. The next episode, oh, Miranda just stopped drinking. Wasn't she drinking in this episode, by the way?
Yes.
She was? I didn't
I'm
Pretty
notice.
sure.
I
They
saw
showed
it.
her pouring a bottle.
Yep.
Rose, what happened to Chaz's finger? I like when people call Che Chaz.
Ah,
And they have aged the character of Miranda so badly. All right, let's move on to what's happening here so the Anthony and the Hala, the hipster Hala kind of made me laugh. That was funny.
It looked like a brick.
I'm not a Hala expert, so I can't really say. All right, the trans rabbi. I actually thought that this person had really good screen presence, but I'm gonna hit the woke moment button because, of course, we have to have
I'd hate her in real life,
a trans rabbi. You think you would hate her in real life? Is what you're saying?
I know I would. Ugh.
You're so funny. Well, I just thought though that I mean her screen presence and everything is just better than almost anyone on the show.
I think
What
so
is with
too.
this fucking like 12-year-old Barbara Streisand outfit?
Yeah, it's not well, everything. They're going back to the 80s on everything. Remember those little bows in the 80s that were I mean, this was like a very big and the documentary proved that they are digging into vintage warehouses full of clothes from the 80s. Did you see that part?
They spent on, I was just thinking when we were watching the documentary, the money that they spent on this cheap ass show that looks like some blockbuster straight to video green screen bullshit. The money that they spent on this could have fed an entire starving nation.
Yeah.
Just the salaries they paid them alone.
They had to have spent minimum $100 million on the show.
Yeah.
At least. But it looks so cheap. The way it was filmed is just so awful. But again, can we just give it up to Anthony for the best?
Yep.
He's always the best, by the way.
Yep.
Anthony always has the best written lines. He goes in to tell that little bitch, this rock character, hey Rockefeller, get off the PlayStation because you're gonna do your homework. Like you're gonna get off and do.
He's more of a fucking parent than any of the actual parents in the show.
I know. How come somebody in my comments said Charlotte should be sending him child support?
Yes. But it's the weirdest thing that like between Charlotte and Harry and Miranda, this show seems to think that parenting is just let your kids do whatever the fuck they want. Can you imagine, Mom?
No.
Would you have ever?
No.
Would this ever fly when I was a kid?
No.
No, seriously. And like
the wooden spoon.
Yeah, the wooden spoon, anything, but like when your parents have done this huge party that had to have cost like my cousin was like 50,000. I'm like 50, try 500. They spent 50,000 just on those flowers alone.
By the way, I got so slighted because like my dad is Jewish, but I was raised Catholic. So I never got to have one. Do you know the money that those people spend on this shit? I never got to I should have been like, no, I want one of those.
Yeah, we'll get to that because I've got pictures of it. The mitzvah or whatever the hell. And okay, so every time we see Che, of course, and this kills me. So now Che's in a bar. She drags Miranda to a bar. Miranda, she's supposed to be having dinner with the family. So you think they're going to be at some, house or something or a restaurant or something. But no, we have to go to a bar.
All about Che Diaz.
Right.
Yeah, because it's all about Che. I don't know. How would you feel, Mama, if Mike dragged you out to a nightclub to meet his boyfriend? I don't know. Maybe you would like that. I don't know.
You would just be glad that I had a boyfriend.
I pray every day.
See, she's like, get married already. You're not getting any younger. She doesn't give a fuck if it's in a nightclub, in a cemetery, wherever.
I just think it's just nuts. They every time now they're in a bar and like, isn't Miranda, wasn't she an alcoholic, but she keeps meeting in bars, and what is she wearing?
A potato sack.
Yeah, she's really hit the pits.
It's like a bed sheet.
It's I thought it looks like a costume that you would wear in a Christmas play if you were an angel or something, with somebody put a cheap gathered neckline. Look at this.
And the white hair. How about the white hair?
The cheap wig.
Oh,
awful.
It's like a sparkly bed sheet. Ugh.
Okay, so you know what's funny? I said it reminded me of Moonlighting from 1986 with Sybil Shepherd. It reminded me of something Sybil Shepherd would wear. And I kid you not, someone in my comments was like, I was just watching that show the other night because I have it on DVD, and she was wearing a dress almost exactly like this. So I remembered it all the way from 1986.
I've never seen that. I wasn't born.
I have. Great show.
It was a great show, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. I loved it.
Me too.
It.
Yeah, it was Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd, and Moonlighting was a terrific show.
What?
Didn't he have hair back then?
He did.
Not you, him.
Oh, yes, he did. He did actually.
You're a little bit. You have a little carry in you that you kind of don't listen when people speak. You're just thinking about yourself.
He had a flat top, Mike. He had a flat top back then. He had a receding hairline, but he had like his haircut like a flat top, kind of like a
He did. In that show.
And if Bruce Willis wasn't bald, he would be kind of cute.
Oh, I love him bald also, but I have a thing for bald guys, so that's just me.
Ugh.
I swear that Brian says, I swear Dorothy wore that on Golden Girls. I said that Blanche Devereaux probably wore something like this, but you're right. It could have been Dorothy. So then Che gets up and she starts this singing routine, and it's so narcissistic. Drink for the narcissism. Where's my thing? I lost my clinker.
And I'm telling you, you guys, look up on YouTube, Sarah Ramirez Spamalot. You will not believe back when she was a woman. Oh, Mom, you got to see the before picture of this bitch. Before she turned herself into this science project. Right. Have you seen what she used to look like? Oh, I'm going to find a picture and show you. Okay. But when she was singing in a normal female key, she was great. I'm sure. But now she has to prove how much of a man she is.
Okay, I can pull up an image of her from, because I think some people don't even recognize that she is this, that she used to be what she used to look like. Here, I'm going to share the screen, so just keep your eyes on the screen because we'll share the old Sarah Ramirez.
Oh, that's what she used to look like.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she was gorgeous.
Wow.
I'm telling you, these people, once they become radical leftists, they turn themselves into their own fucking science project.
It's a deep psychological problem, actually. It's actually very, I mean, we laugh, but there's actually a problem going on here. And I think that a lot of it is like this externalized trauma, like taking the trauma on the inside and making it appear on the outside for other people to see your pain. And it upsets me from a standpoint where I feel very sorry for them. Because clearly this is not someone who is healthy or happy with themselves. And it's like this need to hurt and harm and self-harm. It's really like self-harm is what it is.
That's literally the reason that people used to say why they cut themselves.
Right.
And this is just like the next evolution of that.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. And I think if our psychological community was doing its job, and being honest with people, they would actually try and help them instead of allowing this and playing into it and giving these people accolades for doing it. Like, look at who's that girl who sings, the idiot who shaved her head. I mean, she's got a lot of problems too, obviously. The one, Demi Lovato.
Oh.
She shaved her head too. This is always a red flag. You want to talk about red flags? It's a really bad sign when a woman shaves her head if she doesn't have cancer. Okay, so
Mhm.
that's really the only normal time. And there
She
are
doesn't
some
have cancer.
there are some black women though who have always done the shaved head thing that look amazing. That's kind of like that's a cultural thing though,
That's a
like where
loophole.
yeah, that's a loophole. That's definitely not the same thing. But
No.
if you see as
Midnight Sea Dreams.
yeah, it's not the same thing. There are some incredibly beautiful African American women who do that, who pull off that shaved head thing. But like, yeah, Demi says she's non-binary too.
Oh,
Yeah.
get the fuck out.
So as soon as that happens, you know that there's a deep problem going on, or they're
Yes.
just an attention whore.
Yep.
Both. Can't it
Or
be
both.
both?
It could be drink for both. Drink for both. All right, Cat's Eye, that's interesting. You said you shaved your head for fun last year. Um, you for just for fun? That was fun for you? I mean, you know, more power to you if you like doing that, but that's a hard look to pull off. You know, I know some
I
people do it to get rid of like hair damage, which makes sense, you know, just starting over again.
I
Yeah,
shaved my head when my mom got cancer,
Yes.
Yeah.
but she looked way better than I did.
No, I didn't.
You did.
No.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I agree.
cancer, obviously, like you gotta do what you gotta do. When Brittany shaved her head, I mean, yeah, she was having a mental breakdown. I think we all kind of watched that. She also had years and years of extensions on there that destroyed her hair. And so when
Mm.
you need to start over, you have to shave that shit off.
Yeah.
Yes, Grace Jones, thank you. She was one of the ones I was thinking of. She always
Yeah,
looked
or Alec
amazing.
Black.
Ah,
Alec
she looked
Black.
amazing with a bald head. Unbelievable. But it's a very hard look to pull off, and when you start doing this undercut thing, when you see girls
Ugh.
doing this undercut thing, something is wrong. It's
Wrong.
not that you can't wear your hair however you wanna wear your hair, I'm not saying that. Wear your hair, do you.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of this far left stuff that starts to go from what we're looking at on the right to what she looks like now on the
Mhm.
left, and it's a whole thing, right?
And a lot of these people who claim that they're a they, them, and they're one of the non-binaries, they literally just cut their fucking hair short and think that that makes them their own special gender all of a sudden.
Yeah, I mean, Erin Smith and I were talking about this the other day when she was on the program. It's like, you know, and she's a trans person. So she's like, okay, these non binary people, they say they're non binary and they say they're part of the trans community, but they've made absolutely no commitment. And it's
Yep.
not really a commitment to shave your head. You know, it's not a
Maybe
it's not a surgical procedure. You know, it's not hormones.
the
If you
non-binaries call themselves trans to gain legitimacy. If that were its own valid identity on its own, they wouldn't need to call themselves by the name of a different identity.
right.
They
Right.
do that just to gain legitimacy.
Right. Yeah, you compare that to someone like a Blair White who has
That's my
spent
girl.
years and tens of thousands of dollars, you know, with her transition. That's some real serious
More than
commitment.
that.
Oh yeah, maybe hundreds of thousands. I don't know. But Blair looks pretty amazing and
I love her.
she's an amazing girl too.
She is.
And it's
That was
it's
so
like
much fun when we were in DC, the three of us.
I know, it was
We have
fun.
that cute ass picture.
I know, it was fun. I miss you guys.
I miss
I
you.
miss being in the same room, you know? It's so it's a good time. But I mean, when you compare some of these people to people like Blair or people like Aaron who have gone through years and years of of, you know, hard and painful transition, and it's like they have no skin in the game.
Mhm.
They just have no skin in the game, and it's anybody can say that they are a they them. And you can't question them. You are not allowed to question them.
I've been asking for about 5 years now, one of them to tell me what the fuck these genders represent other than fashion choices and words. I've yet to get an answer.
I love the chemistry between you 2. Me too. I
Me
love
too.
Mike.
I
I
love
love
Megan.
Mike. He's fabulous.
Aw,
And
you
I
are.
look forward to talking to him every week. I hope we never stop doing it. I could do this
Yeah.
all day
You're
long.
gonna come on my channel too.
I will. I will.
I should tell you also, you should come on the Red Flag Lovecast sometime. You would love my friend Peter that I do it with.
Yeah, I know. I need to do that. Anytime. Just let me know when and we'll do it.
Yes.
So I love the fact that Che takes this opportunity
Ugh.
at this so she makes this big deal out of this song and she's telling everyone that she does this to say I got a pilot and I'm going to LA. Like it's so narcissistic and here was the perfect moment as she tells Miranda I'm a fucking narcissist. Here is the perfect moment for Miranda to wake up from this idiotic fantasy.
Yes. See, I really thought the last few episodes, I mean, I should have known better, but under normal circumstances, you would have thought that, like, dramatically, all of this has been leading to Miranda getting her comeuppance and getting bitch slapped into reality.
I think so.
But no, because you
No
can't
consequences
have
at all.
one of the non-binaries. You can't have the they them be anything but perfect and flawless.
There was no consequence. Sorry, Mama. Go ahead.
I think Miranda is going to get hurt.
I don't think so. She should have, but I don't think that they're going to allow that.
Over till the fat lady sings.
The fat lady did fucking sing.
It's over. The season finale is over. Like, all right. I keep hearing that, there's like a rumor that it got picked up again, but it did.
No.
As far as I know, we haven't heard that yet. They still say the door is open, but I don't think they are going to do a season 2. Do you, Mike? Do you think they're going to do it?
I don't know. I think it might be that sort of thing where they do it like 2-3 years from now, maybe. They're not going to admit that they were wrong, though. They're not going to, like, change anything.
No.
They're already sort of blaming the audience. Like, if you read that douchebag's interviews.
Yeah. Michael Patrick Dickhead, as Jen calls him at Real Housewives recaps. He actually responded to my article that I wrote the other day without naming me.
No.
Oh yeah, he did. You didn't know this?
No.
Oh yeah, he did. So a couple days ago, I wrote an article about long-term marriage and how they're shitting all over it on this show. And I made a defense for long-term marriage routines because basically they're trying to tell us that routine in marriage is just a big red flag that your marriage is dead and boring. And so I interviewed my coworkers and who are all long-term marriage, they're all people who are long-term married. And I wrote down all of our routines. And it was the response I got to this article. Here it is. The response I got to this article was incredible. It was called, "And Just Like That, the Writers Glorify Exciting Divorce Over Boring Stability." Ugh. And I went through, I got so many comments from people giving me their married routines. I actually should do an entire video about all these great routines that all these long-term married people have. And I quoted the writer's room in here where Michael Patrick King, and I named him, said that 90%, where did it go? He said 90% of married, here it is. 90% of married couples identify with this depiction of what marriage is. It's whittled down to nightly boring routines. And then one of the writers said, "I wonder how many people will own that they might aspire to stray from their marriages."
Ugh.
Who the fuck aspires to that?
No one. I aspire to that, to having a boring married routine.
Right? And I'm also thinking, like, what else are 55-year-old people supposed to be doing on a Tuesday night during a pandemic?
Right?
That's exactly right.
You're going to go clubbing?
No, not anymore. I clubbed enough.
Mama, what's your favorite married routine that you have?
I'll tell you. My husband and I snuggle. We snuggle with the dog between us. We snuggle, and it's like heaven. Because I know, since I was 20 years old, I know that this person loves and adores me as I do him. And that's all that matters to me. That's
the sweetest thing ever. We snuggle with the dog.
While watching fucking Murder, She Wrote or something.
Well, you know what? Why would Michael Patrick King, who is a writer who writes for television, try to write himself out of a job by telling us that sitting and watching Netflix is ruining our marriages?
I have no idea.
Because they want everyone to be like degenerate whores who are miserable and alone at 60 like these bitches.
Right.
Like they're all
degenerate whores. Drink for degenerate whores.
Like they've got to have the most miserable lives you can imagine. Yeah. All of them.
Is Michael Patrick King married?
Oh, I doubt it. I'm gonna look that up. I
don't know. I don't know if he is or not, but it's like, and the other thing is that Julie Rottenberg, I think, is the one who said that it was her dessert routine that they had written into the show. It's her sweet routine with her husband. How do you think her husband feels about her using their sweet routine as a red flag that Miranda's marriage is dying?
Oh my God.
No, he's not married. He's 67 and alone. Sad.
Oh, so that's
my nightmare.
interesting.
No.
That's my
Yeah,
nightmare.
MPK's favorite word is thrust. Thank you, Stephanie. He uses it all the time, and he also talks about Brady's semen way too much. Oh, so I was telling you that MPK responded to this article. So
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I forgot to tell you the response part. So he was interviewed in Variety the next day after I wrote this, and it went viral. He was interviewed in Variety the next day, and he pulled out this exact same quote about the 90% of married couples are in this routine. I know he was responding to this because
Oh my God.
that's what I wrote about. Like, he didn't mention me, and he didn't say it was, my article, but I just know it was.
Yeah.
So he's finally, so at least he's hearing the criticism. He's still doubling down on it though, because he didn't say, I never said routine was bad. He just doubled down and said, you people just basically don't want to admit that you're in a boring, what we're in is a stable relationship. We're not bored. We're stable.
See, I think people look too hard at what happens after marriage when they should be focusing on what happens before. Don't marry the wrong fucking person, and you won't be miserable then.
Right. Oh, you're getting some calls to do your Steve Brady impersonation. We were gonna do
where I was this episode. I was in a basement apologizing to Miranda. I'm sorry. It's never coming off. It's never coming off. Well, go to Los Angeles and do the scissoring with the big what's that? What? Huh?
Hey, Steve, it's Che Diaz, Steve.
What?
I've been finger banging your wife.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's okay. That's okay. Can you tell Miranda that I'm sorry?
She's too busy getting fingered in the kitchen by me.
Well,
Hey, Steve, just smoke some weed.
Can't you finger her in our kitchen? I'm sorry.
Maybe I'll talk about her on the next episode of X, Y, and Me.
Can I come?
Oh, I feel so bad for him. I'm making myself cringe.
I happen to love him.
I love him, but I also think he's a little bit of a pussy.
He is a pussy. But
he's a super nice guy, though.
You'd be a pussy. Think about it. I still love him.
He's a great guy. I mean, he is he's a beta. Okay, let's just admit it. But he can fix things. He can fix things, and he's handy with a wrench. He's a catch. He's good looking.
Absolutely.
I mean, Mike.
My mom likes him.
I do.
I think he's a little he's a little bit of a pussy.
Justice for Steve. Okay, Winterfire says, anyone want to see hot heroic Steve? Tune into NBC Chicago Fire. I have never watched this, but I hear he's on it and he's super hot in the show, so maybe I will have to watch this. Maybe we should review this show. I haven't seen NBC Chicago Fire because I generally think those formula shows make me crazy.
I like the courtroom formula shows.
The courtroom formula ones? Yeah. The cop ones
practice
Yeah, Law and Order.
Yeah.
Miranda didn't win. Che will dump her. Oh, didn't win. Che will dump her when she gets famous. She's already famous.
That happened.
I don't either.
Let that happen.
I do. But it's not going to stop her from being a lesbian. She'll continue with that lifestyle. She is a lesbian.
Well, Miranda's not supposed to be a lesbian.
But she is.
But she's not.
Well, I think that she made a pitch that this is who she is in order to do this show.
You mean Cynthia Nixon?
Yes, Cynthia
Yeah.
Nixon. That's
Oh, I
correct.
agree. She did. It was reported that she said she wouldn't do the show unless they addressed the inequality.
There you
Ugh.
go.
Ugh.
Bingo.
Oh, woke
Ugh.
moment. Woke moment.
Ugh.
All
Do
right.
that.
So what else happened? So Che
Too many
quits.
white people.
The XYME podcast goes away. Thank God we never have to see that again.
Wasn't
Carrie,
it disgusting, by the way, too, how she was like, oh, I'm so proud of everything we accomplished. What did you
what
accomplish?
did you
Like,
accomplish?
Carrie
Talking about
had to be the
public
fucking tool
masturbation?
for you. Yeah, Carrie had to be the tool for you to talk about, like, your fucking gender crisis, whatever the fuck.
Gender crisis.
Ugh. The fucking haircut is what it is.
T. Roy says Che singing put me over the edge.
I said I could be California.
Winter Fire said I wanted Steve to have Miranda walk in and find hot babes feeding him ice cream.
Yes.
Steve
No,
needs to get some
The
tail.
only hot babe for me is Miranda. I like her flannel. I like her Birkenstocks. It's never coming off.
Oh God.
Ugh.
That's so good, Mike.
You could
It's
do,
so
bro.
good.
You could do
Good.
so much better, Steve. He just needs. He has the wrong friends. He needs friends like me or you or Peter to be like, "Yo, sack up, bro."
Sack up. It's pretty sad when the gay guys are more manly than you.
It's
You
true,
know?
though.
It's true though. It's true.
A
Che
lot of
is
you.
they're saying Che is they don't know Che is already famous. Yeah, in New York, you didn't know Che Diaz is the most famous person in New York. She's the one that
Diaz is New York.
she headlines
And
every
LA.
single event, including school auctions. Her comedy concerts are legend. They throw pride parades just so that she can speak at them.
Parades of 7 people. Saddest little. They ran out of budget for the extras.
Oh God. Yeah, I mean, not the father says, remember when her boss set her up with a woman thinking she was a lesbian? Yeah, that was in season 1, episode 3. I remember it very well because I recently watched it again like 2 times. And it was a really funny episode. It was actually handled so well. I thought they did that. They had like this way of writing back then that was very smart.
Mhm.
I don't
It
know
was
who was doing the
very-
writing.
There was a certain irony to it also, you know? For me, that was like the most relatable episode they've ever done because that is exactly how I feel. Like, I cannot stand fucking gay guys so much that I'm like, if only I didn't have to. So I loved how she was like, oh, damn it.
It would be
still
so much
great.
easier. Like she was
That's
like,
how
if I
felt,
could
like, damn it, still gay. Still have to be around these fuckers.
And it's really people keep asking this question, which I find funny, but she's not a lesbian if she's with a non-binary, right?
She is with a woman. She's with a big fat lesbian.
She's with a woman. We saw her naked. She has boobs. You know, what is a woman? This goes back to the question, what is a woman? If you can't answer that question, then there's something wrong with you. You know what a woman is.
Now.
I'm just not going to play this game. It's stupid. All right. So Miranda then goes into Nia Wallace's office, and this would have been tell me if I'm wrong here, though, Mike. Wasn't this the perfect opportunity for Nia Wallace to be like, "What you talking about, bitch?"
Girl, yeah. See, that's the thing. They want they want a black face, but nothing else. They don't want a black voice or a black perspective because any black friend would be like, bitch, you crazy?
Especially if she wrote her a recommendation letter for this very hard to get into internship, and
Well,
Miranda.
Also, you're 60 years old. Internship, Jesus.
Really?
I know, right? But she just but it supposedly is very sought after. And here she got it because Nia Wallace got it for her, basically. And are you telling me that Nia is not going to get a little pissed hearing that Miranda just gave it up? And then Miranda needs to, I mean, isn't this the perfect opportunity for Nia to be like, oh, I see. So white lady who wants to come and help the black folks suddenly got fingered one day. And now you don't want to help the black folks. You want to just use me and use this college course to what? Find your clitoris? Wouldn't that have been a better thing? And for her to be like, I went out on a limb for you. I wrote you this letter, and I could have given it to any one of my other woke students who were like, the one that doesn't know her pronouns, who wanted it, but I gave it to you. So what this is just your usual selfish white liberal shit is what this is.
Yeah, but that's exactly what but she would never do that because in their world, in the world of these white liberals, minorities exist to serve them. And that's exactly, they were so proud of themselves. Oh, it's so diverse. Yes, it's diverse. The people serving you are diverse now.
Right.
Congratulations.
Right.
Like this person, okay, we got maybe 2 seconds about and she busted up her marriage, by the way. They threw that in there because she's a selfish cunt just like the rest of them. Oh shit, sorry, I wasn't supposed to say that word.
Maybe it's buried so far. He didn't say the C word, he said something else.
Said,
but really, it was the perfect opportunity, though. It was the perfect opportunity for Naya to say, okay, so you're not really woke, you're fake woke. You don't really want to change the world.
No, they wouldn't.
They wouldn't let that happen.
No way.
The black characters were there just to be backing vocals.
Yeah, because she did, after she says to her, well, I gave you this great recommendation, Miranda goes, well, I have to follow my heart, which is like the worst writing ever. And Naya's like, okay, go for it. She literally said, go for it. What? I just hated this whole scene. It was such a missed opportunity for Naya to really be the voice of maybe black people who see white savior liberals coming in as a pains in the asses, which is what they normally are, right? I mean,
that's right.
Like, come on, look at this. T. Royce says Miranda just jumped on the woke train until something that came along feels better. Yeah.
Boom. Drink.
It's a lot. It's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to just go get fingered in a kitchen than it is to paint houses for the underprivileged, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
Go get fingered in LA.
Oh, gross. It's
Mom,
gross.
You better not ever leave Dad for a big fat lesbian.
No.
And
Are you crazy?
If I ever see you in the kitchen, I'm making sure nobody else is in there.
What is Seema wearing, Mike? Look at this outfit.
Christ.
What is she wearing? A gold lame. What is this? Pajamas again?
Goldfinger's moo-moo.
Goldfinger!
Look at those MC Hammer pants.
This is something. She left corporate law for some non-binary fingers.
Yeah.
All right, what did you think about this scene with the brother?
Oh, the cemetery where
the crypt. The crypt.
Where she was like, oh, look, we have a family here. Come in. And she was like, what? Family? Other people? No, thank you.
I'm going to dump him in France.
Yeah.
Dump his ashes in France. Wow.
It was so revealing about her, as it always is.
Heartless bitch.
Yep.
Money, honey.
She got her millions, and now he can just go into the friggin' ocean.
And how about,
here's the lamp store. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. How about what?
How about Carrie's attitude towards Big's ex-wife? Do we remember that?
Natasha
gave her $1 million, which was like piddly squat for him, and she was pissed off.
Yeah, she's like, that's $1 more million I was supposed to have.
What a bitch.
Did Carrie even know Big had a brother?
She still doesn't know.
Oh God.
Can you imagine too? She was like, oh, I'm keeping him with my shoes.
Not the father says, conservative LGBT people. Mike Harlow is one of them.
Oh.
He says, I need to meet them. Mike's like, hello.
I got you, bro. Follow me on something or Facebook or whatever. Like, we've got all the cool.
I know all of them. I'm connected to all of them. There's a handful.
Blair, we got all the cool homos.
Ricky Rebel's one of my favorites. I love him. He's funny. Uh, Big's brother aged 10 years from the funeral to this scene. This is my
Right?
this is my favorite guy, by the way, the lamp store guy. I swear, I wanna see a whole show just around this guy for some reason.
He
I
was
just
having none of her shit. You could just see it on his face.
Alright, what did you think about this weird surprise wedding for people
See,
we
this
don't even
girl was
know?
my favorite person in the entire series. I don't know
Smoke.
why. She was like the only. I don't know who this actress is. She was the only one in the entire season who had any sort of charisma, and they stick her with this
Oh,
the
what
the
a yet.
sea monster.
Wow.
He looks like he was left out in the sun too
Yep,
long.
yep.
Cantina says my lamp show is gonna be called Lamp in the City.
Ah,
I love it. I love it. Oh, God. Okay,
Ugh,
we have
can
to
you
get to the
imagine this gorgeous? What's she probably like 20 in her early 20s with this
oh,
thing?
what is it?
Ugh.
Alright, and again, Carrie's wearing this, like, this dress that I probably would love,
This
but she's
beautiful dress with this shit over it. With the
why is
fucking
she's wearing grandma's tablecloth
yeah,
over it.
what's the thing called that you
Uh,
put over the that you put over the couch? What's it called?
a doily.
A doily. That's what it looks like.
And look at this group of misfits, by the way. Did you
Ugh.
look closely at this picture? Look at what all these people are
Ugh.
wearing.
Ugh.
One guy has a necklace on his head. Can you spot the guy
Oh
with
my
his
god.
with a
Yeah.
necklace on his head? And look at the Mormons by the bar in the back. One's got orange bangs, and they're like
Ugh.
cult members in the back there with
Yeah.
the puffy sleeves. Like, what is happening in this group of
Ugh.
people?
Look at the homos with the friggin' cardigan around their shoulders.
Oh,
Gross. Oh, and the little ascot. Look at his little ascot. Ugh. Ugh. Ugh.
Oh,
Ugh.
God. Oh, it's just awful.
Oh, Christ.
Sister wives, thank you. Sister wives. Yeah, there's 2 sister wives by the
Yeah.
bar back there.
Yes.
I mean,
Oh,
to me,
Christ.
this encapsulates the entire show right here. It is a show about weirdos and freaks.
yep.
But who don't have the awareness to like own being a weirdo or a freak. Or the security to do that.
Yeah, they're the weirdos and the freaks that wanna pretend like they're the normal people.
Yeah, they want validation.
But they're
Sorry,
the
pumpkin.
land of
Validation.
misfits.
Sorry, pumpkin. Validation comes from within.
Thank you.
Right, you can't get validated, the
No.
city of misfit toys.
Oh, look at that.
Look at
Okay,
him.
I
Ugh.
loved her veil, by the way. I thought this veil was fantastic, but of
I
course
wish to show her about her. I thought she was great.
I did too.
of course,
Oh
they
my
always
god.
have
Oh,
the
goodness.
Yeah.
woman officiator
Mhm.
of the wedding with the tattoos, and it can't be a priest, it
No,
can't be
no.
a pastor, it has to be a woman priest of some kind from, like, the Wiccan church. She's probably a
Yeah,
Wiccan, and she does, like,
because
naked moonlight things,
I'm telling you, they
smoke in
worship
the city.
themselves and nothing else.
Yep.
They worship themselves.
Yep.
And then this guy comes back, the hot producer. He says Carrie should have her own podcast, which is what we were saying from the very beginning. Why does a best-selling author with 5 books behind her have to be Che Diaz's second
Yeah.
banana?
Third banana.
Third banana. It's not even and then she has this crazy dream, and you can tell that they've taken Chris Noth out, and I
Yup.
think that that's really shitty. And I don't know. This whole thing. Why would Big wanna be in Paris, Mike?
I don't know, other than that's where he went and saved her and got her.
But that's also where he met Natasha.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Isn't Paris, like, Big in Natasha's place?
Wow, I forgot about that. That's right.
Hmm.
And when she brought him the McDonald's and he left for Paris. Yeah.
He met Natasha there. He brought her back with him.
But she
All
just
right.
wanted to get rid of it. It was a burden having that in her closet. It was taking up
Absolutely.
space. She needed one more pair of shoes. It was just an inconvenience. She got her money. Now into the fucking ocean with you,
That's
bitch.
right.
Yep, I did make the Natasha connection. Big met Natasha in Paris. He went off to Paris. He came back with a fiance. And Wig in the City. People are coming up with different names for this thing. Wig in the City. Can we talk about this awful 1985 bridesmaid's dress that no one should ever be forced to wear ever again?
It looks like Rachel in when she goes to Barry and Mindy's wedding.
Also, I found this meme that I thought was hilarious. The supply chain is so backed up that Dillard's just received a shipment ordered in 1987. Everything looks like this right now at the department stores. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but everything. This is these are real pictures taken at Target recently.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I was there. I saw it.
Ugh.
This shit actually is out there right now.
Ew.
I love your response. I mean, look at this thing that Miranda's wearing. Red and maroon. Those are my two worst. Those are the two worst colors you could ever put together.
I will say, I think Carrie looked nice at this.
She did.
I think that's the only time this season that I liked what she was wearing, and I thought her hair was okay.
They had her in a serious hairpiece, though. That was like a lot of fake hair. And what the fuck is with this turban?
She became a cab driver, I guess.
What happened here? What is your damage target? We all want to know. We don't know why all of a sudden the prairie dresses are a thing. They want us all to look like cult members who should go join a cult in Utah. And I don't know why. This is what they're pushing, though. Look at this dress on Charlotte. It is just hideous. So anyway, here's this big fancy party, right? I was going to say they probably spent $500,000 on this party. The flowers alone had to have been. Look at this candy bar. That is some serious cash.
Don't spoil your fucking kids.
Don't do this. Don't do this for your kids.
No.
Like
this little bitch is going to be more of a demon when she grows up than all of them.
Sure.
Can you imagine the insufferable? And then I thought when she had that conversation that I'm not a non-binary, I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm nothing. It's like, cool. So now you're seeing they didn't intend for this to expose it, but now you're seeing that this trans bullshit with her is emblematic of deep psychological problems, that now she's saying, oh, she's not anything. That sounds like a suicidal child to me, but they've just acquiesced to everything. Oh, sure. Cut your tits off, 12-year-old. Take your hormones.
That's right.
And they're ignoring the actual problems going on with this child.
Right. Nobody has addressed the actual problem. Like when your kid says to you that they don't identify with anything and they feel like, and then again, then she said, I'm just 13. I just want to be myself. I just want to be 13. All right, then shut the fuck up about everything. So none of this was necessary. She says, I don't want to be non-binary. I don't want to be any of this. So that stupid fucking rainbow yarmulke on his head, like take that off, because this is all just nonsense. And they're the ones who caused this. And here's how they caused it: by just not saying from the beginning, you are not going to be called Rock. Your name is Rose. And when you can pay for it and go get your name changed at a court when you're old enough to do so, well, then you can go and do that. But I'm going to call you Rose because that's on your fucking birth certificate. Now shut up and eat your peas.
Woo! Preach, Megan.
This would have ended at that. Come on.
And they're saying it's like that. It's like if you give a mouse a cookie, now they have to bribe her with more shit. And they did everything that this bitch wanted. And gee, it's not good enough. She just wants more. And they're bribing her. Oh, sure. Get the hell out of here.
T. Royce, thank you. Put her in piano lessons. This is a kid who has too much time on her fucking hands. She sits around on a PlayStation all day. She needs to be in a sport. Maybe not piano, because that's what her sister does.
Not softball.
She needs to be, not softball, because that'll turn her into a lesbian for sure. Put her in swimming. Swimming solves everything. It gets all that angst right out of the body because you have to work really hard to get down that lane. Make her sweat. Put her in basketball. Put her in something. This is a kid who has way too much time on her hands.
Can you imagine if when I was 12, I would have been like, oh, I'm really Michelle. Can I have my hormones? You've been like, shut the fuck up, kid. Go make my martini.
Oh no.
Identify as quiet and stay in your room.
Yes. Yes.
I love my audience. Identify as quiet, you little jerk. Stay in your room. Oh God. I'm
I was
so
gonna say this too before,
done.
but Miranda's son they're underage, banging his girlfriend all over the house. Would that ever fly in an Italian household?
No. You want to fuck around? Get out of here. Go do it on your own time.
Yep.
Yeah, go
sit
do it in
there
a car like normal teenagers and try
Right?
not to get caught. You're not doing it in my house. Hell
Nope.
no.
But
And
see,
getting lube sent to the house?
they just let their kids do whatever the fuck they want.
And they don't respect their parents.
No
No
respect. None.
Yeah, this is a good point. Rock has done nothing. Let's call her Rose, please. Rose has done nothing all season but play video games and skateboard.
Yep.
That's right. How come
complain.
Lily plays piano for 5 hours a day and Rose does absolutely fucking nothing? You can't do that. Your kids have to have, if they're like this, they need to be in every after school activity there is until they're so damn tired when they come home that they pass out and they stop giving you trouble.
That's right.
Martial arts also a good thing to do. My kids were in jujitsu since they were 4.
That's how you know though that they're metagons. Like this shit would never fly in an Italian household.
No.
12-year-olds having sex changes,
Nope.
hanging all over the house.
Oh
Can you
my
imagine?
God.
Oh no!
Look at this, not
I'd
the
get
father.
up and go for
I have a black mother. I would have had to visit the dentist the next day if I refused my first communion.
Yup! Black,
you-
Italian, Hispanic, it's all the same. Yup. This shit
Mhm.
would never, ever, ever fly.
You know, I had somebody in the comments tell me when I said I would never allow this. My kid would be doing her bar mitzvah immediately when I said, or whatever it was, communion or whatever. And somebody said, oh, you should really not force religion on kids. Like, are you fucking kidding me? All you have to do is get up there and take the fucking communion. All you have to do is get up there and say the thing. If you don't want it afterwards, if you don't want to be that when you're 18, well, then fine. But you can't do that. When you're a kid, you do what you're told. Period.
Thank you.
Period. It's a family tradition. It's part of our lifestyle. We're Catholics. My kids go to Catholic school. They go there and they do the thing whether they want to or not. And I don't care. This is, maybe they think, and they love it though. My kids actually love it. And it's great because they're learning good things. And you know what? If they grow up one day and they decide they don't want to be Catholic anymore, that's fine. But when they're going to go through their confirmation, damn it. Period.
It is mind-numbing. This is what happened. These are the monsters you create. It's like Jordan Peterson says, don't allow your kids to do things that will make you dislike them. And I think this is the perfect example of that.
That's a really good statement.
Yeah. Right. Well, how would you like to be Rose's boss in a few years?
Oh God. Well, but the Roses of the world are kind of bending the rest of the world to their will. So the boss will probably live in fear of Rock.
Oh God.
You know I'm
I
right.
can't stand it. I can't stand it. I mean, this goes back. There was like a thing the other day. It was like an article that came out that said employers were having a hard time and they were stopping hiring people from Ivy League schools because of this shit. So they were reaching out to hire, they were throwing out resumes from Ivy Leagues and reaching out to state schools for people to hire because there was too much of this woke shit everywhere.
Love it.
Yeah. Eventually it's going to backfire.
I hope so. Can you imagine if I acted like this as a kid? You would get the fucking pasta pot out.
I would, and I'd be on the head with it. On the head.
I thought this is something that Samantha would say. This was Sex in the City, not Kids in the City. Yeah, what is with all the kids? All this kid shit. Like no one cares about these kids. And especially because they can't even control their kids.
Well, and they're such miserable brats. Like they're the worst fucking people in the world.
Yes. Exactly. You know what? This is a great comment. Religion is also about family traditions and the way you can come together with a community. Absolutely.
Right.
And those are good lessons for kids to learn. I don't care if they want them or not. I don't care if they believe in them or not. You're 13.
Oh.
You don't believe in anything.
That's right.
You do what I tell you. Period. When you're 18, you get and you move out and you pay your own bills, well then you get to believe what you want to believe and discover yourself. There's no reason to no need to discover yourself at 13. I'll tell you who you're gonna be at 13.
Hell yes.
You sound like my father. He was one tough Neapolitan.
Good, and you didn't turn out like this fucking like these
No.
monsters.
No, and I went to Catholic school.
My
No.
Italian parents would throw a big wooden spoon at me if I acted like Rocky Rose.
Yup, right? You get a badocola.
A badocco on the head.
Yep.
That's right.
Oh man, it's just this really bothered me. This whole thing bothered. And then Charlotte, you think she's going to lay down the law because
Right.
LTW gives her a pep talk and she tells her, "What do you want?" And she decides, "I'm going in there and I'm going to get what I want out of this." And what does she do? She ends up losing again. And she goes out and she does the bat mitzvah herself.
How embarrassing.
How embarrassing.
Humiliating.
So humiliating. When I saw that, I could not believe my eyes.
Mm.
Ugh.
Humiliating.
Maybe she figured so that you have bar mitzvahs when you're 13. Maybe she figured that the fillers in her face are 13 years old.
And I hated the way everyone was like, "Oh, this is fun." No, it was humiliating.
It was humiliating.
It was
So-
a humiliation of her mother. This little jerk humiliated her mother at this extremely expensive party. Man, I would never
with no repercussions, no
Look at that
consequences. Yeah.
picture.
Yeah.
That is the theme of this whole show. No repercussion, no consequences for
Nope.
anything. Would you
I
stop?
hope I hope
Whoever's spamming the comments with porn, I keep blocking you. I'm going to block you. We don't do
we're
that
so
here.
sexy.
Someone keeps spamming the comments with porn. But I mean, honest to God, I hated this scene. Let's see what's next. But I hated it so much. Oh, I could not stop focusing on the yarmulkes because to me, this was like
Looks like a dick.
sacrilege.
Ugh.
They're just mocking Jewish people now.
I agree. That's
Right?
Yes.
Charlotte's kids are the worst. 13-year-old does not dictate how the day goes. Yeah, that's
Right?
the whole.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so now Miranda
and
has.
it's worse. Like you know what I realized about this scene with her and Brady? I don't think there was ever one moment of like, "I love you"
No.
or anything. It's
No.
like they all fucking hate each other.
Yep.
I
And
actually.
by the way, can we remember that like Miranda was never used to be this like fucking communist? Like she is the one who refused to have an abortion. She probably should have, knowing how he would turn out, but
I remember that.
Yeah, she didn't want to have. She decided not to because she was worried that she might never have another chance to have a baby again.
Right.
she would have been better off than with this monster.
Yeah, her kid.
But she
Her
created
kid
this
turned
monster.
out to be. Her kid turned out, but it's her fault. It's
Yep.
her fault. It's not his
100%.
fault.
He seems.
And can you imagine Steve trying to lay down the law?
Oh,
Okay, so
buddy.
here's
Hey,
my.
buddy.
buddy.
It's like these kinds of parents who say, like, "Hey, buddy, you feel like going to sleep?
Ah,
You feel like doing your homework? Fuck you!" Oh, those are things I was never told. It was like, "Bitch, move your ass."
You know what I would have done? You know what I would have done as a writer on this show? I would have had Brady in the same situation, like he's like screwing around with his girlfriend or whatever. But I would have had his parents take control of the situation and put him in, again, swimming for 3 hours a day, where I would have had him getting beat by a trans man to embarrass him.
Yes.
And that's what would make him like want to work really hard and get better at it. And it would have been funny and timely to have a trans man beat him in swimming, don't you think?
Oh, but they would never would have allowed that.
It would have been hilarious, though. It would have been funny.
They would never allow that.
It would have been edgy and really funny. But no, we can't have funny things. We have to have this bullshit.
They're
right.
they're educating you.
What I would have done as a writer, Cantina says, is put Che on a Peloton.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought for a second here that they were gonna have a conversation about Che, because Miranda said, you know, "You still haven't said anything about what you think," and then she paused, and I thought that was gonna be about Che, and then she goes, "About my hair."
Ugh.
Ah,
Superficial, vapid
Yeah. There
bitches.
you go.
I hate her hair, by the way. I think the
I
the
do
red
too.
wig is just as bad as the gray wig.
It's the same wig in red.
Party City, $7.99.
But it was bizarre seeing this person with red hair, because it's like, this ain't Miranda. It's like she's wearing a Miranda suit now. She's cosplaying as Miranda, but this ain't Miranda.
I don't know, and backpacking at 17,
Yeah, get the
it would
fuck
be a
out.
cold day in hell before I sent my 17-year-old to Europe with a boyfriend or girlfriend
Oh
to
my
backpack.
God. Give me a break.
Cold day in hell.
I got shipped off to Europe for the summer with my grandparents to look at the fucking hills.
Well, if you're going with your
Oh.
grandparents,
Get hit
that's
with the
one
wooden
thing. And where do they get the money to do the backpacking? I don't know. Who knows? This show is so awful, and she's so proud of herself. All right, now we get to it. Why is she wearing the rubber gloves again? Mama, what do you think about this dress?
I think it's hideous. I think it's ridiculously hideous. I said it when I saw it. I say it again.
Did you ever wear shit like that in the 80s? To like
Yeah,
Studio 54 or
Yes.
some shit?
Yes, I did. But I'm 64 and she's 50, whatever. And the boat stops somewhere. You know, it's got to stop somewhere.
Can I just let you know, by the way, we will be watching shows. I'll sometimes be watching a show with my mom, and she'll start telling me stories from the olden days or something. She'll be like, "Oh, that reminds me of when I was doing Quaaludes with Liza Minnelli at Studio 54."
No, Liza was doing coke. Lorna was
Oh
doing
my
the Quaaludes,
God.
and I was drinking.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you weren't doing more than that. That's good. Small
I didn't
victories.
do Quaaludes.
Small victories. Yes, thank you. Lucky Dancer says, "Aren't those the dish gloves she smokes in? They sure seem like it, but they're pink and not purple. But every time she wears gloves now, all I see are the plastic gloves, and that is what those look like." I mean, I don't understand this outfit. You could fit so many things in those sleeves. What is she hiding? Is she packing heroin in there? I
It's
don't
like I
understand.
Love Lucy when she smuggled the cheese.
Yes, that's true. She put it in her dress.
That's what she has, wheels of cheese from France in
And I
there.
know that this scene was not supposed to be funny. It was supposed to be like heart-wrenching or whatever, but I literally I think maybe it was the purse. It might have been the Paris purse, the Eiffel Tower purse with the ashes in it. But when she started dumping it into the river, I busted out laughing out loud. And I
So did
know
we.
We did too.
Did you really?
Yes.
Did you?
I thought it was the wind was gonna blow it onto her.
But it was there was such a comedic thing when she did this. It was, like, hard to do, I guess, and so she was comedically I couldn't capture it in the screen grabs. I wish I had the video, but go back and watch this because you will see that she is, like, struggling to do it in this big, floofy, stupid dress, and I just could not stop laughing. I was dying.
So were we. Oh yeah, and then in the documentary they talk about this dress how
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
they talk about how, oh, she knew that was the one and she didn't need to see any other dresses because this one was just so beautiful.
Stephanie says, "I've been more graceful cleaning my cat's litter box." Cantina says Carrie should have gotten a big mouthful of big, like in the Big Lebowski when they dumped the ashes. When they dumped Donnie's ashes. Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
She got what she wanted. She's counting her money. She got all his money, took him for everything he's worth, and now he can rest in the ocean.
There you go.
Bitch.
And the ashes, by the way, yeah, First of all, the ashes of a person are much bigger than that, like, that was only, like, a small amount of them, like, that wasn't even I
Is she
cremated
gonna
my
use that
dog.
purse again?
I cremated my dog, and, like, my dog's ashes wouldn't fit in that purse, and my dog was 100 pounds. A 200-pound man is gonna be that's a big lot of ashes, so she obviously kept some somewhere else, and then that purse, my cousin Alex, who knows designer purses, was, like, raging today about that purse because apparently that purse, I'll tell you, it was, she told me, she was like, um oh, now I'm not gonna find it, but she told, oh, Judith Lieber. It's a Judith Lieber bag.
Yeah, that's a great bag.
And she's like, are you kidding me with the Judith Lieber bag?" Like, who
Is she
does
gonna use
this?
that again? What's she gonna put, like, a tampon in there? Well, no, because she's dried out.
No,
But,
she's done.
snacks
done.
in there, and they're gonna get some of her ex-husband's ashes on them.
I don't know. But then they
Ugh.
drag Samantha back
Don't.
into
Simply
this.
not. Don't.
They
Ugh.
they drag her back into this, and, like, they're gonna have drinks, but of course we don't Sam's not in the show, so we just have to imagine that that happened, which is something that the writers force us to do all the time. It's
Mhm.
just imagine things that they should have written, but they didn't, like the dates and we don't get any of the dialogue, like, we just have to imagine all this shit happening. So now she's back to her own podcast, which is called Sex in the City, which is what
We
she
were
should have had
supposed
in the
to be
first
like,
place.
"Oh, she said it. She said
Right.
the title."
Yeah, I don't know why they thought that was such a big deal, like,
It
did
might have
you
been if we didn't have to watch the previous 10 hours of this shit.
Yeah, maybe if they had started it out like that, and then kept the stuff from her podcast as the voiceover, just like it used to be with the column. I
Ugh.
I
I
I
thought
don't
they
know.
would do that, but ugh.
Minus Samantha, this show didn't have a shot in the dark.
She
Yeah.
carried that
She
show.
carried it.
She did.
I loved her.
Yeah, I agree. I actually don't think I knew how much I loved Samantha until she was gone.
I agree.
Samantha was this show, and I think that that is what eats Sarah Jessica Parker at night, and that's why she can't sleep.
Yes,
Very
yes.
good. You're so good.
I'm telling you, you have to watch the part in the documentary where it goes on and on and on about Michael Patrick King not letting her wear the hat, and you can see that veneer of Sarah Jessica Parker's what Kim Cattrall said was the nice girl image. You could see that veneer start to crack when someone says no to her and she doesn't get what she wants. You see that it's good. It's like she's just trying to hold it together. Oh my God.
Vintage Gal says, "Hey, I spread my parents' combined ashes from a bridge over water, and they blew right back onto me." That's a true story.
Oh my God.
Oh, no. Oh, God, that's a good story, though. You're gonna have that forever. Uh Oh, I mean,
what
it
a
just I really do think that it keeps Sarah Jessica up at night to know that, we all miss Samantha so much and that she really I think that's why she hated her. From the very beginning, I think as soon as she saw that Kim Cattrall was stealing every scene that she was in,
Mhm.
Right.
that was the end of it for Sarah Jessica Parker with her.
Exactly.
And maybe that's why Miranda and Charlotte have ultimately become so bland.
Her
Maybe it's
bitches.
intentional. Yeah.
They're her bitches.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Samantha would never, ever be her bitch.
Right?
Right.
See that?
No, she would never just like follow her around. Oh, yes, Carrie, let me hear you talk about yourself more.
Ay. Cream wrap.
Please
So
talk at me.
I grabbed the screenshots of the people responsible for this shit show. We've got
People
Michael
responsible.
Patrick King, Julie Rottenberg, who has an excellent last name. I love saying Rottenberg. She is rotten. And Elisa Zaritsky, she's the one who brought us the smoking outfit. And Samantha Irby got a co-producer.
What?
They all got co-producers. All the writers were listed as co-producers.
Ugh.
You know, one of my commenters said, "Too many cooks, not enough Indians," which I thought was a funny way to mix metaphors, but it was still funny. Too many cooks, not enough Indians. Yeah, I mean, you have too many people calling the shots, and
Exactly.
you're gonna have a mess.
And they
So
did.
they did. Well, we're coming up on 2 hours here, so I think that we need to call it quits.
Yeah, my computer's about to die. I'm
Yeah.
at 13%.
So
Ah.
thank you so much for being here, and let's do it again. Let's do it again next week because I want to go over that documentary. I still haven't watched it.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. It's good. It's funny because the beginning of it is they're going through the storage unit of the clothes from the original series, and I'm like, that was so much more fun and interesting than the entire show.
Yeah, I agree, and they were showing, like, the shots from the original show and her in the clothes
Yeah.
back when she looked amazing and
It was
wasn't
creative.
trying to dress like a hobo for some reason.
Hmm.
And it was good. Yeah, I agree. All right, everybody, take care. We will see
And I
you.
love you. You got to come on my channel soon.
I love you too.
Mom, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Thank
Oh,
you.
it's been a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much, Megan.
All righty, good night, everybody.
Love you
Good night,
guys.
sweetie.